Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Chrysler K. It's a Tier 8 American premium heavy tank. It's located on the north spawn of Lakeville and it's under the command of Super David 11. Battle started. Well, this is a tank that caused a lot of arguments when it first came out, primarily because a lot of the content creators said that it was impenetrable. It's got a 105mm gun, 320 alpha and penetration of 198mm of armour. But they said that it was basically OP because you could not pen the thing. Well, Jingles proved otherwise because you actually could shoot through the sides and take one of these out. And so he was actually absolutely wrong when he agreed with Fosh that it was an OP tank. It wasn't OP. And his own video, Jingle's own video, proved that it wasn't. Well, he's got two lovely hits on that T-52. Can he get the third one in? I don't think so. I think one of his teammates is going to have to deal with that guy. Managed to get two nice shots, and he's gone down. The Oni got him. Okay, well, a couple of targets. T-150 fires around and doesn't get it through. Well, as I mentioned at the start, it's a Tier 8 premium. And, well, there are Tier 6 tanks in this game as well. Just puts a round into the Cromwell. Remember that alpha damage, 320. That's a high roll. He's bouncing rounds from those tanks up ahead. But, of course, he won't be able to bounce the HE rounds that are fired at him. Except for, of course, the fact is there's no Arty in this game. What a pity. Just when they need Arty, they don't have them. Such a pity. You see, Arty does have its uses, and another high roll there. And now somebody started resorting to firing premium rounds, and the T-150 goes down. Nice side scraping position here. Oh, and he receives a round from the Black Prince. That was HE. Now, HE does cause critical damage in terms of module damage. That one didn't penetrate, didn't go through the mantle. It's just too tough there. Can you get another one through? Nope. And again, the Black Prince is still firing. Well, he's actually firing, the Cromwell's firing AP, and the Black Prince was firing HE. But the Cromwell has now retired, thinking, ooch, that was a bit of a mistake, because he's just taken around the 308. And that's 320 off the Black Prince. He's now, oh, he's going to take a few more shots to get rid of that Black Prince. He's continuing to fire HE rounds, I think. He's going to run out soon. Super David's in no need to move forward just yet, and he's being asked to fall back by one of his teammates. Now, I'm a bit puzzled as to why he wants Super David to pull back, because while Super David was in that position, we know exactly where that Black Prince is and the others, but, well, now he's going to change position because he's now going to start blasting these guys. He's potentially got the high caliber now, and they're still firing HE at him. The Black Prince only managed to get 46 hit points off that, but he did finally knock out the observation device, and that was a VK3001P taking around for 366. He's up to 3.3k of damage. Go for it. And another round through the Black Prince. Now he's 3-shot. And they're still firing HE, and there goes the Black Prince. I thought it was a 3-shot actually, but it was only a 1. So anyway, VK, 2-shot. Now he's a 1-shot. The Cromwell's a 1-shot for sure. Say goodnight. He's back in the garage. Okay, we've got a Cromwell, a Chiri, and a Steel Waffenträger, and they're all bouncing rounds off the hull. Now, you might at this point say, well, surely that proves that Jingles and Fosh were right. No, they're wrong, because in Jingle's own video, the Chrysler was actually taken down by rounds repeatedly through the side of the vehicle. all that Super David was doing was side scraping, which is what this tank is brilliant for. And he takes down the Cromwell with a round to the side. There's only 4 enemies left. The steel Waffenträger is one of them, but this guy does have a rather nasty gun. So there's the Jagdpanther. In fact, actually, so 3 of the enemy tanks are remaining here. Is he going to take a round from that steer? He's bouncing rounds from them. Takes out the Jagdpanther. That's the top gun. Puts a round into the steel Waffenträger, although now he's a one-shot, so he probably won't be so keen to move forward anymore. Bye-bye. Yeah, he's gone. He did take a round in the tracks from the Panther. Moving forward. I think he wants the Panther. It's going to take at least 3 shots to take out the Panther. That's one. Goes for the Ram. No, doesn't. Damaged in the track. He'll easily pen that front plate or the lower plate. That Panther really doesn't want to block himself in there. And say goodnight, Gracie. Not yet. Next round. And now he's out the game. And the last enemy is the T-54 Mod 1. That was the Radleys, by the way. This is for the icing on the cake. It's the last enemy tank. Misses that round. And, well, the T-54 first prototype is trying to run away. Won't get very far. He's got good armour on that thing. He's playing Ring Around the Roses. It's chase, chase, kissy, kissy, bang, bang. Yeah, he's doing circuits, that T-54, but he takes out the Oni. And now he's hiding behind the wreck of the Oni. Well, Super David's not going to take that lying down. He's actually just going to drive straight past the Oni wreck and take out the T-54, who's the only tank who actually does get a solid hit through Super David for 279 before he dies. And that wins the game with 9 kills. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats and see exactly how he managed to get on. Well, it was an ace tanker for Super David 11 in the Chrysler K Grand Final. He managed to get a Hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemy vehicles, a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits during that game. He got 7, a Duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a Fight for Effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, and a Shellproof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. On top of that, he got some Battle Hero medals and some Epic medals. First, the Epics, he managed to get a Radley Walters Medal for getting at least 8 kills. He got 9 in total in that one. He also managed to get a Cool Headed for surviving the battle, having received more than 10 ricochets, at least 10 ricochets, a Steel Wall for blocking the most damage in the game, a High Caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and lastly, a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. And after all that, you'd think, well, weren't you wrong about this being an OP tank? Nope, because it can be taken down. It's just the wrong tanks were facing Super David on this occasion. That T-54 could have done a lot of damage to Super David, but unfortunately he was fighting the wrong battle in the wrong place, and therefore the tanks that he was up against were just incapable of taking Super David down. Let's have a look at team score. Highest damage, 7,150 hit points of damage. He was one of only 3 tanks left on his team at the end of that game. And the next high scorer was that T-54 first prototype. You see, he is the powerful tank on the enemy team with 3898. And he also had fairly good armour. You noticed that Super David had a couple of difficulties trying to get rounds into him. Mind you, he has only got a 105mm gun. And that T-54, well, he's well capable of doing damage to Super David in return. The SU-130PM is another tank that could have actually done a lot of damage to Super David and just wasn't there to do it. And he managed to get 1,951 hit points as the 3rd highest scorer. When it came to kills, again, it's Super David with 9 kills, 3/5 of the enemy team. And the next high scorer was that T-54 first prototype with 5 kills. And then the SU-130PM with 2, the Panther M10 with 2, and the Super Hellcat with 2. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,915 base experience points for him. 785 for the T-54 first prototype. It was the enemy leading tank who actually managed to get the next highest score. And after that, it was the STG Guard with 597. He fired 34 rounds, got 30 direct hits and 26 penetrations, damage of 7,150 hit points, all of it at close range, received 50 hits from the enemy, only one of which was a penetration. That's the T-54 that did a really good amount of damage. 45 non-penetrations and 5 shots as a result of splash damage, and it was the 5 shots that were actually HE rounds fired mostly by the Black Prince that did actually knock off hit points, but none of them were actually penetrations as such. They just knocked out modules when they were fired at him or damaged the tracks. He blocked damage of 3,315 hit points in total, spotted 4 enemy vehicles, damaged 9 of the enemy, damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 9, and on a premium count he earned 123,450 credits. He got a personal missions payout of 137,032 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away a profit of 269,107 credits from a 6 minutes 55 seconds battle. That is phenomenal. That is far more than you would earn in Frontline. Very well done. 1,915 XP times 2 for the first victory, 287 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 6,033 experience points altogether. So I think a lot of you would probably turn around and say, well, surely that shows that the Chrysler K is virtually impregnable from the front. Well, not really, no, because the wrong tanks were attacking him. If it had been the SU-130PM and the T-54 that were defending that pass, defending the valley, then yes, I'd agree that he would have had a very difficult time, because he would have been penetrating quite a lot of times by their shells, especially the 13cm shells on that SU-130. But he wasn't there, he'd gone into town. And surely the SU-130PM should have realised the moment the Chrysler was in the valley that he should have returned to the valley to counter the attack of the Chrysler. But he didn't, and he got wiped out in the town, and as a consequence the enemy lost the game. I think this was a simple case of the wrong tanks being in the wrong place at the right time. And it all worked out very nicely for Super David 11. So do I think the Chrysler K is a good tank? Well, it's pretty good from the front. It's not so good from the sides. You can easily take down this tank if you can get alongside him and pump shells through the side of that vehicle. It's pretty weak on the sides, and it's pretty weak at the rear as well. So yeah, if you're worried about it, don't face it frontally. Try and shoot it in the sides if you can. And if you're facing it on a pass, on a valley like that, where he is only giving you the front of the vehicle, then load the HE or get somebody who's got a much better gun, like the SU-130PM, to come back and defend the valley. And that way you'll stop him from coming through. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. And thank you for watching.